Hey guys, so we're almost there. I just want to wrap it up with this video, which we're going to add the rest of the animations, which is very simple, and also just to double check and make sure everything's responsive and looks good on smaller screen sizes. So let's start with the responsiveness. I'm going to just decrease the width here. Alright, so you can see that when we get to here, the menu goes under the logo, and that's just because it's just too much. It's too wide here, and it's not staying on the same line as the logo. So what we're going to do is, you can see when we get even smaller, most Bootstrap templates the menu will disappear, and you'll get this little icon, and you click that, and you get the menu items, which is great. This looks good. But I want it to kick in earlier. Okay, so I want it to kick in, here, and it should end here. Okay, so when we cross this line right here, we need to make that menu collapse. All right, so it's pretty easy to do. All we need to do is add a media query and a little bit of styling. So let's open up the CSS, style.css. And I'm going to go to the bottom, and we're going to create a media query for everything that is up to 990 pixels. So once we cross 990 pixels, we want the menu to kick back in. Alright, which is about here, right here. Okay. So everything under this point will collapse the menu and we'll have the icon. Okay, so let's create the media query. Basically just like a function. I'm going to pass in max width, and that is going to be 990. And we'll start with the Navbar Header. And we're just going to set the float to none. Okay. Next, we want Navbar left and Navbar right. Even though we don't have a right navbar, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. We want to also float these none. So float none, and we're going to give it an important flag. Okay, next we want Navbar Toggle, which is the button to show the menu, and we want that to display. So I'm going to say display block. Okay, so we're telling it to have the icon display if it's anything under 990. Now for the collapse class, Navbar collapse. I'm going to set the border top to 1 pixel, solid, transparent, and I'm going to add a box shadow as well. Okay, box shadow, say inset 0, 1 pixels, 0, and then RGBA. And in there we're going to put 255, 255, 255, and 0.1, which will give it a little bit of opacity. Okay, so now for the fixed top class, we do Navbar fixed top. I'm going to set that to top 0, and let's set the border width to 001. Okay, so now Navbar collapse dot collapse will be display none. Okay, we don't want that to show. The Navbar nav, we don't want that to be float, so I'm going to say float none, and I'm going to set a margin from the top, bring it down a little bit, we'll say 7.5 pixels. And we want to make sure that the list items are not floated. We want them down in a straight line. So let's see, Navbar, Navbar nav, and we want the immediate list items. And just make sure we set that to float none. All right, let's see. For the actual links, say Navbar nav A. Actually, no, I want to do direct, so it should be in the list item link. And we want to just set some padding top, 10 pixels, and also padding bottom, 10 pixels. Okay, almost there. The collapse class, so it's collapse.in. We want to show that, so we're going to say display block, and I'm going to add an important flag. And navbar nav. Actually, we don't need that. We can do that right here. We want to set a border, border right none. Okay, and the reason for that is when it's horizontal, you can see we have this border on the right. We don't want that when it's shown vertically. All right, so I'm pretty sure that that'll do it for the menu. Let's try it out. Okay, so you want to extend this, reload. Okay, that's fine. Go down, and there we go. Is our button. It is, okay, something is not right because it's staying open. So we have to fix that. I think if we put an important tag right here, because I think this is the issue. It's not hiding. There we go. Alright, so that's working perfectly. Alright, so the next thing, let's see. Now when we shrink this up, you can see that the showcase area, this image is just huge, and it's like meshed up against the button. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of this image when we shrink the screen. Alright, just to get it out of the way. To do that, let me see. I'm going to put in a media query. I'm going to just copy this line right here. And this is going to be for 768. So 768 and under. I'm going to set the Jumbotron. I'm going to give it a minimum height of 300. So basically this is going to make it smaller. I think it's 450. But when we make it 768, we want the Jumbotron to not be so high. And then we need to hide the image, so Jumbotron image, and we're going to say display none. Alright, so that looks a lot cleaner. You can see we still have it when we have the big screen. Alright. And we put a minimum height on the background, not a height. That's why it can expand like that. If we put a fixed height, then the text here would be going out of the background. Alright. So the icons here, those are fine. That's good. That's good. That's good. Alright, so that actually looks pretty good. So let's go to the About page. Okay, that looks really good. Meet the team looks good. The clients. So pretty much all set here. Services, you can see the image has shrunk. That's because we gave our images the class of image responsive, and that's why they act like they should when the screen is smaller. Tabs are fine. Service images, good. Okay, contact. The whole map fits in place. Nice form, contact details. So everything looks good. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is the rest of the animation. And I want to do the scroll animation. I want it so when we scroll down, this laptop image will come in from the right, and this list item will come in from the left. And when we scroll down some more, I want this whole section to fade in. Alright, so those are the animations I want to do. And we're able to do the scroll animation because of the wow script that we downloaded. I think we have it included. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so right here we included it and it's initialized. So all we need to do is wrap a div around what we want to animate. Alright, so let's find that laptop image, which is right here, MacBook. So we want to wrap it in a div. Whoops. And give it a class. And since we're using the scrolling div, we want to include the class wow, and then the animate.css effect, which we're going to use. What are we going to use? Fade in left. Okay. Save it. And let's reload. Scroll down. And, whoop, it's coming in from the wrong way. Should be right. There we go. Alright, and then this part here, this list, we want that to fade in left. So I'm going to copy this div right here, and I'm going to go right above the H2, put that in, and then go right below the UL and do the closing div. Okay, so now if we reload, whoops, we need to change the class name. We need to change this to fade in left. And there we go. And if we are at the top and we scroll down, you can see the animation starts then. And then I just want this section to just fade in. So I'm going to go to this section primary and just wrap the whole section in a div. And we'll give it the class wow and fade in. Okay, so we'll reload and you can see it fades in. And if we come from the top, whoop, my mouse, something is really up with this mouse, so it's not the actual, it's not the program. I see I can't scroll correctly. There we go. Whoop. Well, you saw it, and you'll see it on your machine as well. So that's good for the home page. Next, the about. All I want for these to do is to just fade in a little bit when we enter the page. All right, so we're not even going to use the wow script. So let's open the about and find the main content, which I believe is this here. And I just want to do just this part here, okay, not the meet the team, because we can't see that when we enter the page anyway. So we'll go right here, say div class equals fade in, and then we want to go right here, and let's try that. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, we need the class animate. Oh, that didn't work either. Oh, actually, I think it's animated. Yeah, we need to put a D here. There we go. You can see that it fades in. Oh, only the text is. We want, let's actually change this. Put this up right under the row, and then where does this row end? Actually, you can just leave that the way it is, I think. Yeah. Alright, so now that's, and you can see if we go in from the menu, it fades right in. Okay, next we'll do the services. We'll just do this area here. Okay, so let's see. I think we should start. Not there. Yeah, we'll do this here. Actually, we want to include the people image as well. So let's do it right under this container. So div class equals animated fade in. And we'll end that. You know what, let's just go down here. And let's see, we'll end it. You know what, we'll just do the whole thing. So we'll put it down here. There we go. Alright, so contact. Let's do that. Again, we'll go right under the container and give it a class of animated and fade in. And then we want to end that down here. We'll just do it down at the bottom again. And there we go. So we have our nice animations. So that's it. I really like this template. There, of course, there's more you could do to it if you wanted. You could add more pages, like maybe a customer review page or an FAQ page. So that's it for this project. I will see you in the next one.